Probably. Yo, welcome back to another episode of From the Sideline. I'm your boy Troy. I'm back with the boys. What's up, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
We got Boo Wop in the building. What's up, Boo Wop?
You already know, live and in the traffic.
Live and in the traffic. Do not pod and drive, right? Do not pod and drive. That is one of my sayings.
We do not promote.
Tyrone in the chat earlier. That's what I like to see. What's up, Ty? We got Mulich in the building coming a little later. We got our DJ back in the building, but William is back in the building. What's up, William?
How you doing, man? Thank you for having me back. Appreciate you.
About 2 weeks since we had you last time.
Yep. About 2-3 weeks.
Love the energy, so we're gonna get into it. We got a lot to talk about. Yeah. And now that we don't have the full guys here, I don't know where I want to start. So now I gotta see what's the least important or the least thing I want. All right, we can start with the Celtics Wolves. What do you guys think is going on? What you say, Bird? No, I got you. No disrespect. I got you. Bird said no disrespect. So don't be disrespect.
Larry.
You heard him.
Don't disrespect Larry.
You heard him, Boo Wop. You heard Bird speak. You better listen to him. But Bird wants you guys to respectfully, DJ is in the building. What's up, DJ?
What's going on?
Bird, what y'all respectfully?
What's up, man?
Respectfully tell us what you think is going on with Boston right now.
They don't have an identity. That's what it is. The identity has changed so much. At the beginning, it seemed like they were just a pace team, and then they started knocking down threes and became a three-point shooting team in volume, and they started playing defense for a little bit, and they just have nothing that they can just consistently rely on right now.
Coming out the gates firing. I mean, as a Boston fan, I would agree. I mean, I'm not biased, but I would agree. I think not having Udoka there after him coming in, and giving them that identity, them having Musai there, and Musai not being able to do the same things Udoka was or instilling in them the same things. I think that's definitely affected them. But I think those guys got to want it more too. I think Tatum and them got to trust the guys around them a little bit more like we did last year. Smart got to learn that too, trust the guys around him a little bit more. And, I think we got to pick it up on a defensive end. We have a lot of lackluster spurts during games. And this was the same thing I seen from my team last year. I'm not biased. We would, but then it's just like no punching. Then there's no punching. Like there's no punching coming from us. And I don't like it. Tatum, Brown, Smart, you guys got to figure that out. You got to find a level of consistency. Like if you're going to come out and punch somebody in the mouth, make sure that punch is felt throughout that whole game. Like that game is over once that punch is felt. Because we'll come out, punch a team in the mouth, and then they come back, punch us back in the mouth. Like, hold on, it's not a boxing fight. This ain't Jake Paul versus, this ain't, who was the guy that he just lost to?
I can't think of his name either.
Fury.
I know.
Fury.
Yeah.
Don't listen. This ain't a Tommy Fury type of fight.
Loss.
Yeah, it's not a Tommy Fury type of fight. You feel me? But Boston doesn't have a real identity. I think they need to get back to playing, that tough defense. Because if not, I was just saying last night. I mean that, it's for me like the top teams in the East is. It's Bucks and Boston, but Philly ain't too far behind, man. And I think Philly can shock both Boston and the Bucks if they catch them early. I don't really believe in the Heat, but I think the Heat defense alone could probably scare one of those teams. Like in the first round, they match up with them, take them to a game 7 and be down to the wire in that game because that defense, they know how to play defense at the right time. So, but Boo Wop, I know you wanted to say something. What do you think is going on with Boston?
Basically what y'all said. I just think it's immature basketball for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They reverting back to the same ways that they were the first half of the season last year. It's just a lot of one-on-one basketball from Tatum and Brown, and that's only gonna get you so far. I thought the Brogdon pickup was going to be very huge for them, but not to say Brogdon's playing bad or anything.
No, he's very huge for us.
Yeah, but he's just not as impactful as I would like him to have been this early on. You know.
Well, he's been playing really good. I mean, I get what you're saying, but is it more to how they utilize him or just?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like it's just he's a good player anywhere. Like he's gonna do this anywhere what he's doing over there, but they're not using him in like to take the ball from Tatum more and take the ball from Brown more and make better decisions for that team. That's what I'm noticing. And the defense has been up and down.
Yeah, it's very up and down. That's what I'm saying. Like we need to get back to that defensive identity. I'm just going to check out.
They seem like they're flirting with that line of whether to turn it on or not, and that's a very dangerous game to play, especially in the playoffs. I mean, you just can't decide to flip the switch.
Killed him yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you say that, Tyrone? I would like to know. I don't. It's not Brad. Brad is in the front office. Like we weren't missing Brad last year when we made it to the finals. Nobody was saying we was missing Brad last year but now we having some woes, and it's like, we need Udoka. That's who that name should be. They're missing Udoka because that's the guy we need there. That was the guy that got Tatum and Brown to, do what was necessary to make it to a finals. And I don't think Musaya is the coach. Even though they did give him a contract, I don't think he's the coach, going forward to get those guys to do what they need them to do. That's not saying we can't go back to the finals.
Right.
If they're going to play like this, though, how they've been, they're going to lose again.
Oh no, 100%. I mean, I agree. I don't think this, but this still season, and I want to. We got like what 18 something like that,
like
17 games left. So yeah. I mean, they could definitely get it together. This is not a time where I want to see my team doing bad or having woes. But yeah, we could definitely finish in that top 3 still, and avoid the Bucks for a little bit. We'll eventually want to run into them, but
they need to avoid the motherfucking Celtics. I mean, the Knicks. That's who the Celtics need to avoid. They got their number right now.
I agree.
They have their number.
I don't care about regular season when it comes to that. Like I said, I done seen teams beat teams in the regular season all 3 games and then get in the playoffs and get their asses kicked.
Right. But I'm just looking at the matchup.
That's a bad matchup for the Celtics.
It could be. It could definitely be a bad matchup. But I mean, I remember last year they were saying the Bucks is a bad matchup for the Celtics.
They were. If they would have been healthy, they would have been a terrible matchup.
Okay. See? My point?
Terrible.
My point?
Terrible.
My point.
Hey, you can only play who puts in front of you, man. So
it don't matter because Middleton then and they don't lose. I don't give a shit. I said that on TikTok and the guys was like, yeah, I can see how you say that. Because I said it last night, the scheme switches, bro. Like the scheme isn't the same. Like,
need to get back to playing defense and get back to playing team ball. That's what they need to do.
But let's get on to these Clippers Wolves. What do you guys think is going on with the Clippers? Tyrone, why your message not coming through and shit? I want to put it up.
Terrence Mann not being in the starting lineup.
Because I think it got something to do with. There we go. It refreshed now. I wanted to put it up.
Because I think because they were playing good ball with Mann in the starting lineup, even though he's not a point guard per se. They were still playing good, some good basketball in the lineup. Then you went and got Westbrook. You put him in there. Come on, man. Not trying to blame everything on Russ because they got an identity crisis too. They're not playing good. They're not playing good defense. They're not putting stops out on anybody. But still, at the same point, they were playing better with Terrence Mann in the lineup than with Russ.
Yeah, they was playing better, but before they did that, they, like you said, they just still got identity issues.
Yeah.
Paul George and Kawhi Leonard were previously known as 2 of the best 2-way players in the game. They just 1-way players at the moment to me. They not getting it done defensively no more. Like, I seen De'Aaron Fox cook they ass. Like, I'm talking about cooking. Mm-hmm. And if they got to play a team like that with a fast guard, they're going to be in trouble.
You talking about that 176 to 175 game?
That was ridiculous, bro.
That was crazy.
That was a game.
That was crazy.
That's what you're saying. I said it on. I put the video on TikTok. Go check it out. I told you like this is when us old heads say there ain't no defense today, and we see something like this. Y'all call that basketball? It's like, yeah, that's one side of basketball. What happened to the other?
Right.
But I do expect the Clippers to kind of reel it in. I do think there could be a definitely first round, second round exit.
I think Russ done played what 6 games with them now. In 4 of those games, he was pretty good. Like I blame the defense, and you can't because the game against the Kings, he sat out. I mean, he fouled out like with 6 minutes left. They had like a 6-point lead. They failed to keep the lead.
Yeah.
You know, so it's got to be better defense
6 games
being played. You can't really blame that on Ty Lue. Because Ty Lue makes adjustments. Ty Lue bench you if you're not playing well. Like, he do all the things you want your head coach to do, but it's just still.
Yeah.
You know, players got to perform. They the ones that got to perform, the players.
I still
Coach
think
only
Russ,
look, but they
I
beat
still
Memphis today, and I know Memphis missing some pieces, but Russ only scored 9. He went 9, 6, and 5.
I still think Russ need to come off the bench. I would start him over Terrence Mann.
You said Russ need to come off the bench?
Yeah, I would not start him over Terrence because Terrence Mann was playing. Like I say, he's not a true point, but they were playing well. They had good chemistry. I would have kept him in the start lineup and bring Russ off the bench with the second unit.
I mean, if Buwan said, if Tyronn Lue needs to make adjustments, I'm pretty sure he will make that adjustment, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You want your best 5 on the floor when you're coming out. And Russ could definitely bring you that explosion off the bench. Let's get on to the Bucks winning streak. You know, I mean, Buwan got a lot to say, so Buwan.
The streak over this shit.
Oh yeah, they lost. I'm sorry.
They lost to the Sixers.
Yesterday. Yes, sir. They did lose to.
They lost. That was like 2 days ago. They lost to the Sixers. They beat the Wizards.
Oh, they beat the Wizards last night. Yeah. Well, what did y'all think about? Still, let's talk about it. We ain't talking about it. What did you think about it? What was it? How many games was it? 16?
Yeah, it was 16.
14, 16, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
16.
I think it was something like that. I could check real quick.
Then it can't be about that. Do we expect anything less from the Bucks though? I mean,
not really.
They can run rush shot. They can almost run a rush shot over that East. Almost. The Sixers are giving some trouble. Boston again.
I mean, here we are talking about identities, and they're the one with the identity.
Well, yeah, one with the identity, and the fact that most teams in the East aren't up to that level.
Yeah, I think it's just they have arguably the best player in the world, and
that's a help.
You know, and then what I'm still impressed about is that they're doing this basically without Middleton being 100% still.
Yep.
But you did this last year without Middleton. But they did this last year without Middleton being there.
No, they didn't.
Not like this.
He missed the first start of the season, but he was there doing that, like the back half and stuff like that when they trying to get into the playoffs. Like he was there, then he got hurt in the playoffs against the Bulls.
What you give Middleton right now? About 80%?
He's somewhere in there about. He looked decent like a couple of games, but they, Coach Bud still kind of got him on a minutes restriction and they load managing him right now. They just trying to keep him healthy to the playoffs. That's what I'm seeing him doing right now, which is smart because he seems to be injury prone right now. I like what I'm seeing though. I really am.
Bucks will be there, that's for sure.
I do agree it's smart to keep him out because it's kind of like one of them things like kind of like in football whenever a receiver's gone for so long, but you already have that connection, you could just plug him back in and we already on the same page. They're probably the only team right now that can actually do that with Middleton because Middleton was a big part of the championship run. They know how they play together and it wouldn't be no problem putting him back in.
Anybody know when Jay Carter coming back?
No, I don't.
He back.
Okay, he did play the other night. I didn't see him play the other night. Okay,
he might be. I'm not sure. He might be right. I'm not 1,000% sure. But he was a nice little pickup too. That was a nice little pickup.
If you get hit back in the playoffs, you sitting pretty.
Yeah, it was like a 16, 17. I think it was 17.
He can be exactly what PJ Tucker was to a degree, but like just with you get a little bit more shooting from him than
Right.
PJ.
Yep.
And
Yep.
you know, that's a plus on that Bucks team in particular.
It is. I love that pickup for them.
And he just adds more defense. That team defensively is they're ridiculous. They're long, they're
It's just
athletic.
sick.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
and you
I can
just
see
ain't
them
looking at the
winning this
starting
year,
five.
man.
And you
I
ain't
can see
looking at just
them.
at the. Then you just ain't looking at the starting five. Go look at that bench. That bench got depth.
Yeah.
So man, be tough.
I can see them winning this year too. It wouldn't even surprise me.
Yep.
Oh man, in a minute.
Hold on now.
Like, boys is different, man. They got that Greek freak, man. Different.
I mean, hey, we'll see. I mean, but I wouldn't be surprised if they win another one. They're definitely like the top, like one of the 4 teams I think can win it this year, from what I see. But that's just from who I know the Bucks to be, and Boston is the other one from who I know the Bucks to be. And then I would say the 2 in the West for me is Golden State is still there, but then I would say I know people would love for me to say the Clippers, but I'm actually going to say right now I gave this spot to the Nuggets.
I'm about to say, don't disrespect
As
the
you
Nuggets. They
should.
play some good ball.
I gave right now because I'm not sold on them, but I gave this spot to them.
What you ain't got no Phoenix love?
I think the Suns. I just need to see it. We have to talk about that, but I want to get on to Mikal Bridges, right? Because
Yes.
I just told my coworker I wasn't trying to move my back, move it, and there you go. I want to talk about Mikal Bridges, and I got just one simple question: is he the future of the Nets?
Possibly.
I think he is, man. He's been going off, bro. He's been doing his little thingy thing.
I was wondering if this was like a flashback to James Harden coming over from OKC when he went to Houston for a while, because he just came over and just started going crazy. And I'm just like, okay, I've kind of seen this play out before, but we just need to see a little bit more. But as of right now, man, he's balling.
You guys trust Brooklyn to actually build around him, though?
I mean, that's the real question: is can he be a centerpiece? Like, can he be the number one option for you? And I don't think
we've seen enough. It's only
yeah.
a small sample size.
I don't.
But he might be, though. He might be the man.
Yeah, I mean, he could be. He could definitely be. You know, I like what Tyrone said. He'd be definitely a really good number 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But who do you put him with? Like, the Nets is building around. You don't got many options, seeing how everything fell apart with KD, Kyrie, and James Harden.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, some of that onus is on them too. So, I mean, players are going to be looking like that organization, and you know, they ain't gonna take care of you while you're there. But when you want on your way out, they'll take care of you. You know,
with the way that whole thing went down, they may have to build that thing up. Mostly through the draft, with the way that thing went down, because I don't know if players would, like to your point, if players would be so ingratiated to go over to them as a free agent.
Yeah. But I would say for right now, you know, the Suns is that close 5 because I think KD definitely, but we'll get to that a little later. But I do think Mikal Bridges could definitely be a vital piece to the Nets. It's just you guys. It's just what they put around him. If you could find some pieces to put around him, give him a really good number one option. I don't know if they can win a championship. It just depends on how the cookies crumble in their lap. You know, I'm big with the cookies crumbling, so it just depends on, you know, how those cookies crumble.
Could be a consistent playoff team if you build it right, though.
It could be. It could be,
right,
but
it could be a consistent.
Do you want to be the Jazz?
Facts.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Do you want to be the Jazz?
That's a good point.
Nah.
Nobody want to be the Jazz. They ain't win nothing.
Nobody want to be the Jazz.
Nobody want to be the Jazz.
Nobody want to be the
Jazz. The problem is, even with KD and Kyrie there, they've been in the same spot for so long since they pretty much broke down and rebuilt. Even before they first traded Spencer Dinwiddie and those guys to get what they got back in return. It's like you didn't move the needle none. You were still in the same place.
Right.
Even though you had KD and Kyrie couldn't play. KD can only do so much. And with those two salaries, you couldn't really surround them with anything.
You got stagnant. Yeah.
And now you've moved KD and Kyrie and you're back in square one where you just have a really good team and you're going to be middle of the pack. You're not going to get a high draft lottery pick because you're going to make the playoffs.
Right.
And it's a horrible situation to be in because
it's going to make you a middle of the road team.
That's how I'm a Rockets fan. I went through that until they traded for James Harden. We were in the playoffs every year.
I remember them
days. Just like a 48 and whatever team. And I'm just like, bro, just suck for one season and go and get somebody in the draft.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see. That's that tanking mentality. We don't want to do that over here. We don't want to be
I get it.
Man,
I'm trying to wait for him, boo, but I think Moolich about to get lit because I'm running that little small talk.
You got to as the Rockets. You got to as the Rockets, though.
We got some big topics we need to get into, and I'm running out of little small topics to talk about over here.
Man,
we talked about the Suns or not?
Oh yeah, let's go. What you want to talk about the beef? Because that's one of the topics I got. All right, so let's do it. Let's fucking do it. All right, the Suns, right? Let's do it. The Suns. Can't laugh too hard. So Luka and Booker got this beef going on, man. I'm calling it a beef because it's constant. Every time these guys play each other, there is something. But I want to know if you guys share the same sentiment. So is it a beef or is it for show?
It's for salt.
It's for what?
For saltiness. Devin Booker's salty.
Petty.
Petty is the word.
That's what petty. That's what it is. I'll steal it from Joy Taylor. Petty, man. I ain't never seen anything like it. I ain't never seen nothing like this on the basketball court. Right there. Go, man, just being paid on both sides. I think crazy.
Right.
I think it's real.
Luka,
I think it's real too. I don't think it's fake. I think it's real.
Yeah, I just don't think they like it. I just don't think Luka likes Devin Booker. I don't know. It's like Kyrie had words with him too that game. Like Kyrie had some words for him too. So
yeah,
I mean Booker had to do something or say something that they didn't like. And I know, players, they lose and then you're gonna win and you start chirping at them. Because Luka did come out and say, his quote was, it's a competitive game, it's all good. Next time, just don't wait till there's 3 seconds left to start talking.
Hey, that's pretty much what he said last year in the playoffs too. Or I forgot who it was. It was like, it's easy to talk shit when you up. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah. But everybody does it though.
The whole game.
Yeah. But everybody does it. Even Luka does it.
I know.
So it's like, why you getting mad at D Book? Like, what does
Luka the last person they need to talk trash?
Like, what does what does he feel about D Book that he feels like he needs to, go at him for the same thing he does? He does the same thing. He talks trash to players when he beat them.
Well, Luka forgot last year when they talked all that shit, and then they knocked him out at the end.
Facts.
they knocked him out, and he gonna keep that same energy.
Facts.
The Book ain't forgot either. So man,
Luka say he talk shit all through the game. He don't really care. Like he say Devin Booker talk shit when they up.
I don't know. I seen Devin Booker chirping at people in the first round. I seen him chirping at people in the second quarter. That's the first round. In the first quarter, the second quarter, the third quarter, the fourth quarter. Like maybe he just talked to Luka when he knew they won. Like when he knew they won, then maybe he was like, yeah.
He should have talked in that game 7 last year. That's when he should have talked. That's when he should have talked. You know what I mean? You talking in his regular season game and talking that game 7.
Regular season don't mean that like the playoffs.
Got obliterated at the crib. Got put out at the crib.
Hey, he should have talked.
Your place. They put you out at your place.
He should have talked, but he didn't. He know when to. Devin Booker know when to talk. All right, he ain't just out here talking to talk. He know his lane, bro. You can't be mad at him because he know his lane.
It's like Jordan said. It's easier when you up. Yeah, y'all talk, bro. When you up, it's easy.
Hell yeah,
you got the lead. Yeah, talk when you down though.
I talk when I'm down. I talk when I'm down.
I ain't seen Devin Booker do that with.
But I'm talking while I'm up too.
That's what you supposed to. If you gonna talk shit, you supposed to talk shit the whole.
If Devin Booker just want to talk while he up, then it's called security. You know, it's insurance. It's insurance. It's called insurance. You know, he's taking out an insurance policy. He's making sure you can never say he said something when you know, and then you came back, you kicked this booty for it. It ain't because of me. You ain't gonna Spike Lee me. You ain't gonna Spike Lee me.
You bought that insurance from Cliff Paul?
Hey, Clifford Paul.
Man,
But yeah, man, just taking out an insurance policy, boo. Why you mad at the man?
I'm not. I don't care. I just call it how I see it. It's easy to talk while you up.
It is easy to talk while you up. That's why we talk while we up.
I mean, I'm just saying the beef don't seem that real to me. It just seems like one player is saltier. Like, I think maybe Book feels like the way they talk about Luka isn't, you know.
But Luka seems like the one that's saltier to me.
Petty.
I think Luka seems the one that's more saltier though. Like every time they play, it's like Luka getting in Booker's face.
What Luka gonna do though? That's what I want to know. What
Nothing.
Luka gonna do?
The first time they met in the playoffs, Luka beat him. Like there's nothing to talk about.
I'm talking about when they meet each other. I don't care about the playoffs or not. Yeah, I agree with you when it matters. When it matters most, yeah, I agree with you. But we're talking about when they match up, there's always sauce.
Right.
Like, that's what I'm talking about.
It's part of how the media covers Luka.
They just don't like each other.
Yeah, I think players be jealous of other players on how they perceive throughout the league. Luka is perceived to be kind of like the
like they skipped over Devin Booker.
Yeah, he feels like y'all don't talk about me the same way.
That was funny. I can see what you're saying because Luka. If you remember Devin Booker, they were saying Devin was the next Kobe. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's Kobe.
That's
and it's like Luka showed up, and they're like, "Oh, Luka's superstar." Luka had the LeBron effect. He walked into
Baby Bird,
superstar.
What Shannon Sharp call him, Baby Bird.
Yeah, I think that's Boo Up saying the same thing, Tyrone. But I don't know if it is if that's what it is. I mean, it could be salty, could be a little jealous that Luka gets the love and he doesn't. You know, it's a competitive game. You know, so it's all good. Just don't talk shit the last 3 seconds. You know, that's all Luka's saying.
Everybody know though, like the reality is, it took Devin Booker almost 7 years to get into the playoffs. Like,
but that's team that could be on his team too. We can't say that's all over Devin Booker. That could be on his team too.
I watched Luka carry a team that wasn't that good to the playoffs.
I mean, Jalen Brunson.
What year was that?
His third year in the league. That team was not that good. He still carried them to the playoffs.
I don't know.
Every year he's been on the team, he's had a solid team, like not a great team. It was no better than what Devin Booker was probably working with in Phoenix. You still got Aiden. You still got little key players around you. If he was who he say he is, it would not have took Chris Paul to come there and they instantly rise the way they rise. Chris Paul is still a great player at the time, but still, he literally came there. They go to the finals. It was a culmination of them growing. But I'm just saying, he didn't hit his stride as a winning basketball player till Chris Paul got there. Like he didn't do that. Like that's why I used to tell people pump the brakes on a guy like Zach LaVine. I didn't see nothing from him to be like. I see the. You know what I mean? I see.
Yeah, I'm a Bull fan, and I can't stand Zach LaVine.
Yeah, no, I can't agree with that, Bull. So you said his third year? His third year would that been 1920, right?
Yeah.
1920 in the playoffs. The team: Luka, Tim Hardaway, Maxi Kleber, Finney Smith, Porzingis, Seth Curry. I could go on. But Luka in the playoffs averaged 30. Tim Hardaway. Listen, you said he carried them there damn near by himself. Tim Hardaway, 17.8 points. Finney Smith, 10.2. Porzingis, 20.3. Seth, 12.8. Trey Burks, 12.3. That doesn't sound like he carried them to where they went by himself. I could give you the regular season numbers too. Because
I forgot about Trey Burks.
I did too. Solid numbers from role players.
What is role players? You need role players. So can Kyrie, LeBron, or Steph Curry and Giannis, whoever you want to pick, can they make it to a finals with no role players?
Listen, Listen, I didn't ask them to make it to the finals, and you acting like
If
I'm
they can,
asking
they make it
Devin
to
Booker.
so they go into the playoffs and doing something in the
I
playoffs with no
said
role
Devin
players.
Booker in 7 years did not go to the playoffs. That's what I said.
100%.
That's what I
But
said.
we could go look at
Luka
Devin Booker's teams. Let's
Go
do it.
look at it. Go ahead. Go look at it. Go look at it.
So my thing is, if KD get there and they win, it's going to be because of the acquisition of KD. It won't be because of Derek Booker. So his point will even be more
100%.
emphasized.
100%.
So it'd be his point will even be more emphasized.
So we're not talking about 2020. We talking about what year was he drafted? I got to go back. I'm on the Suns. I want to go back
because the Suns won his championship with KD. KD gonna get all the glory, all the credit. Booker ain't getting nothing.
It's like
this
what
first year
you going back to look at is gonna be like pointless choice. Luka just better than Devin Booker. He gotta accept that. Devin Booker just gotta accept this shit.
Nah, I just want to know who was on his team in 7 years, man.
Like he's just better. He just
7 years, that's Chris Paul. Year before that, they won 51. That's
He's
Chris
better
Paul
than
too. Chris Paul not there.
You said they won what?
Not there. Hold on.
I think what started the
2000.
Suns is Devin Booker.
Hold on, they wait. I'm just reading it. It's 51 and 21 in 2021 with CP. I don't see. Hold on, I got to make sure CP wasn't there. CP was there. Okay, CP was there. I didn't see his name. It wasn't highlighted. Give me a second. CP, let me check the CP.
I think what jump started this team is whenever Monty Williams took over as coach.
No, CP definitely made CP definitely because Monty Williams was there. Boo. I agree with Boo. I don't think I'll try to catch you with the CP. CP got there and it instantly was better. Somebody told me that. I was like, nah, hell no. And I went and looked and they were 100% right. The year before they were 34-39. And in the year CP got there, they went to 51-21. They were instantly better. You can't deny that. But I just want to see who was Devin Booker's teammates, before, now he still had a solid team, I can't. He had Ricky Rubio, it's a solid teammate. I can't say that name, boy.
He had solid teammates. He just wasn't.
He did. No, he did. He did. He had
he wasn't good as Luka, man.
He had Tyler Johnson. He had Tyler Johnson, solid teammate.
Freaking Tyler Johnson. I forgot all about him.
Where is he at now?
Not in the league.
I like Luka. Luka a great player. He just not Luka, man. Luka is a hell of a player, man. It's just simple. Man.
Where's Dario Saric at right now? Where's he playing at?
He got traded, man. Got traded with the Kevin Durant trade, I think.
He did. So where he went to?
He might actually be out there.
Timberwolves?
Yeah.
I remember him. I think I remember him being on the Timberwolves, but I don't know about this season.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at the Arrows, they was a pretty solid team for 34, 39.
D-Book a nice player.
1936. There you got D-Book. I can't defend you here, bro. I cannot defend you, D-Book.
Everybody. You can't.
All right, he had TJ Warren.
It's just like when James Harden got to Houston. But before he got there, I told people, and I love Russell Westbrook, one of my favorite players. They made the wrong move.
I said that too.
Harden is a natural, like he plays the game way more natural. It's just simple, like that's simply as I could put it. Russell Westbrook, we all know he's a great talent, but he makes the game harder just by having flaws. Like he's just a flawed player. And at the end of the day, James Harden went right to Houston. I can't remember the full cast that was there. I think Chandler Parsons might have been there.
Jeremy Lin was there. Jeremy Lin was there.
Chandler Parsons, the biggest D
Jeremy
in the
Lin
NBA.
was there.
That's the biggest D that ever played in the NBA.
Howard was there.
Yeah.
Well, you came after, but
did them out there a fire alarm going on?
No, that's
fucking boo up. That's a potty wide parking.
Hey, all I know is that when you got it, you just really got it, man. It's gonna show day one that type of player. As soon as you get, you know what I'm saying. This was James Harden, literally his first year as the man. Instantly took that team to the playoffs. Nothing to talk about. Never been a leader.
Man, the first two games he put up 44 and 42. Yeah, that tells you everything you needed to know right there.
I knew it. I wasn't even shocked. I'm like not even shocked a little bit. I'm like, dude, I could tell. Like, if he get his own team, he's gonna be special.
So it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter that the year before James Harden got there, the team was 34 and 32. You say he instantly took him to a playoffs, which is correct. At 45 and 37, so he made the team what 7 more games better? I think my math is correct.
You said 34 wins the year before.
34.
45. That's 11 plus.
11,
wins.
yeah, 11. There you go. I said my math's correct. I did. If my math's
That's
11 more games. I wanted to do the math. That is very good. That is very good. You know, I'm just testing everything you say tonight.
That's a monumental swing.
That is 11 points.
That's a huge swing.
Great.
Yeah, that's a huge swing.
And now I went to double check, but he was playing with Carlos Delfino, who out there, great teammate right there.
Damn,
great teammate right there.
I ain't seen him in forever.
I like Carlos Delfino, man.
Yeah, I ain't seen him in forever. He was
Carlos Delfino.
When you really impactful, man, it's just gonna show, man. That's all I'm saying.
No, I get you, but I'm not. I think Booker. People do need to put some more respect on Booker's name. Though. I mean, do you not
They
think
respect him. I think he a top.
Who disrespecting Booker though?
Player.
But do you think he needs to be mentioned above with the Lukas?
Hell no. Hell
Damn.
no. Luka is in the breath of the Giannis's, the motherfucking Jokic.
He's more
like.
So let me ask you a question. You say he's more of a second tier.
Well, Devin Booker has a 9-2 record versus Luka, so I don't know.
Because if you taking Booker, you don't put him one of the 5 greatest players you got in the league right now. If you don't have Booker here, he's got to be a tier 2 player.
Nah, Devin Booker beat Luka 9 times. Luka only beat him twice.
I don't know.
I know why Luka mad now. I know why Luka mad now.
You gotta tell me how many people on this tier with, you know what I'm saying? Like me, my tiers go in 5s. And Devin Booker is not on my second tier.
Damn.
But I'm not surprised because the way you reacted just now, you was like, damn, but that would make Devin Booker a top 10 player, and I don't think he's a top 10 player either.
He shot 12% from the 3-point line. Now, hold on, I got to take everything I'm saying back.
Yep.
He went 12.5% from the 3-point line in a game versus Dallas. I can't accept that, Devin Booker. Sorry to you guys.
And their best defenders got traded.
Facts.
You said their best players got traded?
The best defenders got traded.
Oh, you talking about the Suns?
With the Mavericks and Suns, when you look at it.
Who did the Mavs trade?
Because Finney Smith was a good. Finney Smith was a good defense. Was a very good.
And
defender.
Spencer Dinwiddie. I mean, I can see the loss in defense with Finney.
Yeah, even going back last year, Jalen Brunson was a way better defender than Luka too.
Yep.
He had the assignment to guard the best guard.
Sorry guys. All right. Moolah said he's setting up, so we get to the big topics. I know the topics that everybody jumped in here for. And that's the Ja Morant's. Let me see what else in. All right, so we'll do the Dylan Brooks. Did any of you guys hear Dylan Brooks' comments on Draymond Green?
Yeah, I saw him.
I read them, but I can't really remember. I remember reading them and just be like, "Okay, bro."
I mean, he
said, "I don't like Draymond at all. I just don't like Golden State. Boo up, dropped out, and got his GED. Ow, that hurt it. See, just that slight move that hurt it. I just don't like Golden State. I don't like anything to do with them. Draymond talks a lot.
I see his point though. I mean, because if you take Draymond on any of the team, he won't even have the same responsibilities on any other team.
I don't know. Do we know that to be true?
I mean, what? you put him on another team. He's a lot of times, particularly if you already got an established point guard, he ain't bringing the ball up. What an established point guard, he's not bringing the ball up. So the point forward to be gone.
You can still definitely use him as a defensive anchor, though.
I could definitely say Draymond does a lot of little things that transfers to other teams. Not saying he would be an all-star on the other team because obviously
be a role player.
Golden State has this elite list of shooters.
But is he not a role player on Golden State?
Be a role player. He won't be. He won't be considered a great. He'll be a role player on.
He could be considered a great role player.
Anywhere else he'd be a role player.
But that's what
I
I'm
don't think
saying.
he's
He could be
considered an all-star.
Williams. He could be considered a great role player, Will.
Well,
Because
again,
that's how I view Draymond. I always view Draymond as a role player. I think I get what you're saying. I think other people view him as more, but I think Draymond is just a role player. Like Steph would be the superstar.
Steph and Clay.
Clay would be the star, and
yep,
you got your role. You got your all-star, whatever you want to call him. Because I mean, at the time when they was winning their first and they were battling for their second championship, the one that they lost, Draymond could hit a three. He could space the floor for him. He could do a lot of other things for him.
I'll give him that for what he did then, but
now he's not the same player now. He's not the same player at all. So but he said, I don't like Draymond at all. Draymond talks. I don't like Golden State. I don't like anything to do with them. Draymond talks a lot. Gets away with a lot too. His game is cool with Golden State, but if you put him anywhere else, you're not going to know who Draymond is. He plays with heart, plays hard, knows the ins and out of their defense. I guess that's why they like him over there. Which I don't think is fair. I think Draymond brings a lot of value to just defense. Like his pick and roll, him in the pick and roll with Steph Curry is very important. Very important. Like who's his main pick and roll guy?
But my thing with Draymond, we've seen him without Steph and without Clay. And what was he? That was your time to shine. That was your chance. That was your time to elevate and try to take that team at least to the playoffs. And he was 8-8. He couldn't do it.
He ain't no star player though. That's the truth though.
No, I think he's just a role player. That's
he's just a role player. Just a role player.
No. Like he's a star. He was a star player in Golden State though. That's the thing.
I think that's just how I get you, but I just think that's how people overviewed him.
No, it's not overviewing him. What he did for that team in particular.
And the first two, I could understand, like, because he did do a lot more in the first championship and the one that they lost to LeBron. He did do a lot more, like spacing the floor, like. But that's why I said, like if you put Draymond on another team, like you can still utilize him in similar ways Golden State use him in the pick and roll game because he's the main pick and roller for Steph Curry. You can still use him as the anchor of your defense to cause havoc, to switch off 5 positions, to get steals, to get blocks, or to make it hard for guys. Like Draymond did all that for Golden State. So for Dylan Brooks to say you don't know who Draymond is on any other team, I don't agree with that because I think Draymond will find his way on any other team because he was shooting a 3 early on.
Exactly
Golden
what
State.
he is though.
Game 7 in the second.
He's got an identity. We know what Draymond is. He got an identity. 8-8. He hits you with occasional. He'll get you an occasional 3. Come down, block a few shots. But at the end of the day, he ain't 8. He is Mr. Triple Single.
Yeah, but you don't. But that's what I'm saying. I don't like that point of view either because you don't need all your guys to have 20 points. Like Draymond isn't a guy you need to have 20 points.
That's true.
He is not. Like his role. That's why I hate the fact that we don't have specialists no more. Because back in the 90s, Draymond would be a defensive specialist.
Yeah.
He would be a CJ, Casey Jones. Like he would be
no.
Casey Jones.
No. What Patrick doing is dunking on his ass every time he
I just think
he's not playing the same position back then. He's like a fucking small forward.
He's like a small forward back in the 90s.
Yeah, he's playing like a power forward.
He's not a power forward or center. He's like a small forward in the 90s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like on Golden State, he found the role. He allowed that team to do what they do best offensively.
100%.
Run around threes. So you don't have a Stephen Curry nowhere else on nobody else's team in the league right now. So if you don't have Stephen Curry, it's not. He can do.
But I don't know if you need a Stephen Curry. But if you have somebody that's as quick as him, like you don't think Draymond in his prime will fit with Trae Young?
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask the room this.
Like if they utilize him the same way, putting Trae Young in those pick and rolls. I'm not saying Trae Young's going to do the same thing Curry does, but just having a guy there that can set you in pick and rolls the way he can to give Trae Young space to take his shots. I think that would work.
Let me ask you a question. Would you take him to Portland? Would you take him to Portland?
With Dame?
With Dame.
Dame for me, I don't know. That's a good one. I don't know.
Man, look.
I don't know.
It's not the same because before I'm just gonna say I said Stephen Curry, but you don't have Klay Thompson either no more. This is what makes everything in Golden State
100%.
work the way it works. They had the best shooters we've seen in the last generation. That's on Golden State. Nobody's a better shooter than Steph and Klay. Nobody. So he loses the greatest backcourt shooting ever. He loses this. This is what makes him so valuable because again, he's allowing them guys to be the best version of themselves. Yes, he might make Trae Young slightly better because he does have great intangibles that you can take to any team. But it's going to be mostly a team that has, I would say, like if I had like a championship caliber team, because you got to think Draymond was, he was doing these things in Michigan State. Like he's been doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it was good in college.
He's been doing this. But the thing about it, this is the league. He's undersized. He had an undefined position when he was drafted. Why he was drafted in the second round, because you didn't know what he could really be. And at the end of the day, he was drafted to the perfect situation.
What's up, brother?
The perfect situation.
How y'all doing?
What's up, bro? That team had a need. Like, it was like, I tell people this all the time. David West getting hurt was a blessing in disguise for this team.
Yep.
They would have never knew how good Draymond was because Steve Kerr was just forced to start him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, but I just think if you put him in certain situations, Draymond can still give them that pick and roll, that defensive tenacity, being an anchor, getting steals, creating offense. I think Draymond can still give other teams that. I'm not saying it looks the same as Golden State. I said that. I don't think it looks the same as what he did on Golden State.
Yeah, it'd be different. It'd be different.
He wouldn't be a Hall of Famer nowhere else. Like,
nope.
he's a Hall of Famer.
I could agree there. I could agree there. But Dylan Brooks,
Golden State is the Hall of Famer.
I don't know. I don't know. But Mooj, I know this was your topic, so what are your thoughts on the Dylan Brooks comment on Draymond?
Well, I mean, Dylan Brooks is talking out of his ass again. But there's no surprise there. It's just interesting how somebody who hasn't really done anything in the league has so much to say. I really don't. It doesn't hold any weight for me, honestly. It's just he's just chirping because it's like, do something. Win a Defensive Player of the Year, lead the league in steals. I don't know, do something other than make a fool of yourself on game days, bro. But it's like you got so much to say about a championship winning team, so much, bro. And I remember a tweet from after we won the championship, ironically, right? It said rent free, but I'm just like, we obviously live rent free in your head. Draymond obviously lives rent free in your head, bro, because you constantly bring him up on everything that y'all talk about. And I just feel like he needs to humble himself, bro. Like, just be humble, dog. You're not as good as you think you are. You were a high draft pick coming out of college because your 3-point shot, which just fell off the face of the fucking earth. You're really just used for defense now. You were supposed to be a 3 and D player, but you're not a 3 player. You're more of a D player, and then you're really not good as a D player either. So just humble yourself, bro. Humble yourself. Take notes. Try to learn from him, I guess. But this constant talking because you feel like you're better than what you really are, it's getting old, bro, honestly. And because you haven't done anything to back it up, I wouldn't even listen to it. I laughed at it and posted it and then posted me laughing at it. Because it's like, come on, bro, who are you?
You can say the same thing about that whole team.
Exactly, because it's like, who
they hadn't
are
won
you?
anything, but they talking all this trash.
Who are you? That's all I want to know. Who are you? What have you done?
I mean, and now look how things are falling apart, and I think that's a great transition.
And then hold on real quick, because there was an Andre Iguodala segment on Twitter that he did with Shannon Sharp, and they were talking about how the Grizzlies disrespected him, how they didn't want him and stuff like that, how they would try to like shut him out the locker room and all the stuff like that. So it's like there's always been some kind of like saltiness prior to the whole I
don't think it's saltiness. I just think they're jealous of Golden State. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's
I just think they want to be like them. And they think they hold the grudge because it's like, oh, we want to be like you guys. You're better than you guys. Like, nah, you guys not that. You're not that. Like, I like job.
They trying to be the modern day Bad Boys Pistons, right?
I don't even go that far. They don't even got the DNA to be that though.
Hell no. Nah. The Bad Boys Pistons was actually some real ones on the court. They some weenies, bro. Like,
I mean, but they started that same mentality though. That's what their mentality was. And like sometimes you do have to bully your way to the top. So
they don't have the DNA.
I had no problem with it initially though. Like I have a problem with this comment, but I'm just saying like overall them trying to feel like, like we here. I have no problem with it, but prove that you're here.
That's my only thing. That's my only thing. That's my only thing. It's like if you want to talk about it, sure, talk your shit. I'm here for it, but do something. That's all I want you to do is do something. Do something with it. If I'm gonna be on the field talking all kind of shit and I keep getting Dick Boston Jr. in the end zone, hey, be quiet. You gotta be quiet now, big dog, because. You can't talk about that. You can't sit there and get bounced in the playoffs and then come back the next year talking about we ain't worried about nothing. You got something to worry about, brother. I'm sorry. There's a lot to worry about this way.
Fans. Ooh, I'm
But
sorry.
they
It's a
can just
basketball
be
show,
real.
sorry.
They can state facts, and even if they not like wholehearted truths, right? You can just state facts. You can say, well, our best player went down in that series. We lost to Dylan Brooks for a game to his own antics. But still, y'all can say those facts and be like, we feel like if we do what we need to do this year, we got y'all. Gotta be cool.
Exactly.
People
And
might
if you
not
beat us,
believe y'all.
bet.
Right.
Facts. Yeah.
But beat us first and then come and say all this stuff like that, bro. Because it's like if you beat us in the series, oh, sure, bet. Do you thug? Right. But if you gonna do all this talking in the regular season because you beat us in the I don't care about that, bro. Because what happened in the playoffs? That's all that matters, right? I'm gonna bring up these guys over here, not this guy right here personally, but these Laker fans over here, right? Because they just beat us when Steph came back. Oh, Steph came back. Oh, they beat us. Bro, I don't care. Make the playoffs. Get us in playoffs first. That's the only thing that matters. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Regular season wins? I don't care, bro. Beat us in the playoffs when it
I
matters.
just said that. I just said that.
When it matters.
Fucking
What
Knicks.
happens when it matters? Come on
Yeah,
now.
That's
Like,
right. That's what I'm talking about, Mulich. What happens when it matters?
Troy just finished saying that too.
what happens when it matters? Nothing. Because
All
if
right,
you can't prove it when it matters, you can't do shit.
Let's get on to the big topic of the day. We was waiting for Mulich for this one. I had to drag it out, guys. I know we had some guys pop in here a little earlier that was looking for this topic because it's on the thumbnail. Well, no, the Luka and stuff was on the thumbnail. But anyway, shout out to our Spotify listeners. I want to shout you guys out if you get this far in the video. I should have done it earlier, but we started the conversation. I did think about it, but then I lost that train of thought. Shout out to you guys. We got 12 followers on there. So keep pushing, keep listening, man. And then if you got any if the audio kind of choppy or something like that, you can't hear us, it's too loud, spiking, somebody might, let us know, because you got to listen to it, not us. But Ja Morant, motherfucking Ja Morant, gun toting Tupac, having I'm Biggie,
stupid, just stupid.
Like motherfucker, I'm Nas, I'm hit him up. More that
you about to get you about to get one of the biggest contracts in the world next year, and you doing some bullshit like this?
Now, William, I want you to repeat what you just said.
Jesus,
I want you to repeat what you just said. What was that first word you just said?
I said this man is about to go get one of the biggest
contracts. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Troy. You call him what?
Stupid.
Thank you.
Stupid.
Okay. Let's go ahead and kick this off, right? Let's go ahead and kick this off because I've been having this conversation for the past few days. Let's go ahead and kick this off, right? What Ja Morant is doing is not being a tough guy. Okay? He's not being a tough guy. He's not trying to be hood. He's being dumb. Let's call it for what it is, bro. He's not trying to be a tough guy. He's being dumb. He's being stupid. Okay? There's a difference between trying to be a tough guy and trying to be looking tough and being dumb. Ja is the latter. Okay? Waving a little 380 on Instagram Live is not trying to be a tough guy. It's stupid. That's what it is. Let's call it for what it is, bro. I hate that everybody tries to portray this tough guy, thug guy mentality on people just because they're on Instagram or on social media waving a firearm. First of all, that's never been tough. I don't know what hood y'all claim to be from or what hood people y'all experience, but where I'm from, waving your firearm on Instagram or on social media is not tough. That gets you packed out. That gets you robbed where I'm from. That's real hood shit.
Put a target on your back.
Hood dudes don't wave they shit on Instagram or social media, bro.
The only time you gonna see a hood nigga gun is when that shit flashing.
It's when that shit is flashing, bro. You're not gonna see it on social media. You're not gonna see it on Twitter. You're not gonna see it on Facebook Live. So he's not trying to be no hood tough dude. He's being dumb because he has the money and opportunity to do so. That's the thing. That's the difference. Everybody tries to portray these young black men as trying to be something that they're not. As soon as he get online waving a gun, or as soon as he get online doing some dumb shit. He's a thug. He's a dummy.
Hold on, I got a question.
He's a dummy.
I got a question. Okay, and I'm speaking as a dad. His father has culpability in this too. He's got culpability in this too. Because I'm telling you, you got to sit that boy down and let him know you can't be that man's friend. Sometimes you can be, but in this particular instance, you can't be his friend. You got to sit him down and tell him what's really going on, and that's a failure on his part.
there comes a point in time where you have to stop enabling behavior.
Yep.
And what his father, his friends, his mom, even his little sister, all of them, they enable that behavior, and they've been enabling that behavior since he probably started to do it, right? See, and it's the thing, right? Because most people would like to throw out that statistic. I know I'm going to get real on y'all that all these people come from these violent crimes, and violent people come from single parent households, right? But
That ain't
guess what?
true.
Guess
That ain't
what?
true.
Guess what? All the people
Statistics
that
prove it, but go ahead.
statistics prove it, right? But guess what? All the people that I've ever known in my life, and all I see in the real world that want to be something that they're not, that go out there and they do dumb
Oh,
shit.
the people that grow up in two-family households,
The people that go up in two-parent
Yep.
households.
That's why I said. That's why I say it's
But
not true.
that's contribute to, and this is why we need to shit out the show. That's
Oh, no, most
contribute
definitely.
to the society some of these guys grow up in, or the society they grow up watching. Because a lot of people, they watch stuff on TV and they think it's cool. They see the other guys that fit in, or other guys do it, and they know this guy that runs with this gang, or this guy that's run with this group, and they all want to get in and get in. And that's why last night when we was talking about it in the meeting, I was telling these guys, like, because I know, like, I had a guy who went to a party, wasn't a gangster, wasn't none, just went to a party, caught a bullet in the head. That was the end of him, just for going to a party. So it's like, and we were young, we were in high school, we were young. And that changed my mind for everyone to go to parties, because it's like, yo, you don't know people's intent. So it's like, with Ja hanging around these dudes and these people allowing it, like, and I know Mel and Buat was saying, like, he didn't grow up around these dudes. These not the dudes he grew up around. But it doesn't matter if he grew up around these dudes or not. Like, you got to have dudes around you that want the best interest in you, the best interest for you, or have the best, interest in mind for you. And I don't think Ja has that. I don't think Ja has people around him, let alone his father. I don't think the people that he's hanging around have the best interest in him. And I think Mel and Buat said is like, it's similar to Tekashi 6ix9ine situation. And I kind of understand what they're saying.
And it is, bro. And this is the thing, right? Because like I said, I've seen this stuff. I lived this stuff. I used to be a part of this stuff. And when I see people portray this stuff, I'm like, bro, like, you're going to get hurt.
Yep.
You're going to get in trouble, bro. Like, this shit isn't a game. Like, this is the reason why I'm so vocal about this right here, right? Is because what they see people doing that's not tough guy stuff, bro. That's not thug stuff, bro. You don't see these guys on social media. They're in jail. They're dead. That's what happens. Right?
Or they're on the block shooting up somebody's
Or
house.
they're on the block, bro, doing their
Shooting up
thing, getting
somebody,
money, bro. Like,
right.
but they're
Shooting up
not on
somebody's house.
social media. They're not on Instagram. They're not on the internet doing what you think they're
Let me
doing.
ask you a question. Did you buy his apology? I didn't.
No.
I didn't.
And that's why I wanted to talk about
because
Stephen
they
A's
his
response.
behavior.
That's why I wanted to talk about Stephen A's response. And I know Mel and Buat gave me a lot of pushback on this last night. And I know I called him. I said he has Uncle Tom like tendencies, and Mel corrected me to ask me where Uncle Tom comes from. It comes from a slavery guy who freed 12 slaves, and I get it. But Stephen A, I don't know if you guys heard his approach, but his approach was very soft. It was very, I appreciate his apology and him coming out and saying this and he needs to do that. And I know that if it was a guy like Kyrie Irving that flashed the gun on his Instagram, he wouldn't have got that. Or if it was a guy that Stephen A didn't like, he wouldn't have got that. And I know we all contribute that to bias, but I was expecting that here. And because Stephen A didn't take that approach, I don't think it was right, because he takes it with people that he's not particularly fond of. And that's not cool to me when you can use your public platform to de-shame the people that you don't like. Kwame Brown, Kyrie Irving,
bro.
Go ahead, Buwap. I know you disagree.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't like that, because see, Kyrie won't wave a gun because Kyrie is comfortable in his skin. Ja Morant is
I'm not. I get that. We understand that, but I'm just saying, if the roles was reversed from Stephen A's point, and Kyrie was somebody, not even Kyrie, take Kyrie out of it. If it was just somebody that Stephen A wasn't fond of, if they did it, they're getting backlash. They're getting a whole heap of Stephen A yelling at the damn screen, or yelling at the people on the. How many times did we recently? Have we seen people go up there and Jay Will just did it to him? No Stephen A. No Stephen A. No, you do this to this person, you do this to that person, but you don't do this to that. Jay Will called them out on it. And it's like, yo, his bias, it shows so much, and it's just like, yo, bro, like you at some point you got to take your bias out your platform. Like, because that's what, as you guys say, like it's hurting, like his
Sure.
views are hurting or his pocket. Like that's what's hurting your views. It's your bias towards players, and it's not fair that Ja gets the soft side of it, but when Kyrie doesn't want to follow Amanda, he gets the hard side of Stephen A. Smith. That's not. Ja's situation is worse. Ja's situation is worse, and he get the short, like the long end of the stick.
You gotta realize the aloofness of Kyrie Irving. Like in the media, you're going to cover that like constantly. Like he's an aloof player, bro. He makes a lot of unpopular, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but this is like the fourth allegation that came out against him in like a 2 week span. Like, don't you think at this point Stephen A. should be like, all right, now I'm like, we don't get none of that. And I'm not saying he has to.
I just want him and everybody to hold the same energy, bro.
Energy, and that's what I was saying last night. Keep the same energy.
Kyrie Irving is unapologetic about the things that he do. So
no, but I said even if you take Kyrie out of it, bro, even if you take him out of it and just use another player, Give me the player. You give yourself a player, whoever you want.
I can't say a player. You do Giannis?
No, because I don't think he has a problem with Giannis. That's what his bias. That's why I said his bias shows.
Everybody got biases, though, Trey.
Yes, but when you use your bias, but I don't know if you caught what I said. No, 100%. But that's why I said it doesn't matter if he's a human. Like when you use your platform to use your bias to downgrade somebody or to attack somebody, like that's not fair. And Stephen A. does that shit all the time. You can't sit here and say he doesn't. He does it all the time. The players,
like you just said, Trey, he got producers and writers.
Right.
Write up segments. You're going to talk about these segments. It's not
no,
like
100%. But you cannot sit here and have different energy for one segment and then different energy for another segment that's similar, or that might correlate with you having the same energy for both of them, or worse energy for a worse instance than it was. Like when Aaron Rodgers came out and lied about the COVID thing, he didn't have that much, rah-rah to say about it because Aaron Rodgers is God. That's what I'm saying. That type of bias. But when who was the other? Antonio Brown did it. It's a woof, 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 woof. Like niggas start barking. That's what I'm talking about.
You're talking about a player like Kyrie and AB, both players that do crazy things to the media. That's their job. They're going to talk about it.
I got you. You got a point, but it's their job to talk about anybody else the same way they talk about him. Why is the light different that they shine? Like why? That's my point.
He apologized. Even if we don't buy it, he did what people should do in that situation.
His agent wrote that damn apology.
Kyrie Irving gonna take a month. He gonna lose some money.
He ain't apologizing. I respect him more for standing on his shit because, like you say, he's not gonna be out here flashing a fucking gun.
And Kyrie did apologize because they made him issue a statement. Made him apologize.
Yeah, but it took him how long? He didn't do it right away. He had to get coached into it. He had to all that. That's the difference.
What it happened Saturday? He apologized. What Monday?
Yeah.
Nah, bro. That's a day in between. He should apologize Sunday.
Man, please. He had to, like you said, he got to talk to his agent, bro.
Nah, his agent was typing it up already.
Yeah, but that's PR stuff.
You had it in the email.
It's the reality. Like ain't nothing coming on Sunday, so it's time to put it out Monday. First take come out, whatever.
They would have had a show.
End of the day, he was apologizing.
All right, so I want to talk about. I said Jalen Smith, which I don't even know why the fuck I put Jalen Smith. I don't know who Jalen Smith is. I looked it up and they said somebody just dunked on him the other day in the game. I think it was Ja Morant. I don't know who that dude is. I'm having a Shaq moment over here. But Jalen Rose comments, and what Jalen Rose said, he said, "I am Ja Morant." He said, "You guys got a chance to see me grow up from the public consumption since 1991. I've been involved in drug raids. I survived assassin attempts. I've been the undisciplined young person that was trying to figure out how to be famous, how to be successful, how to change the dynamic of my family." He goes on to say more, but I want to know what you guys think about Jalen Rose comments.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
Because he's lived that life. And shout out to Jalen for getting himself out of it and making something of himself. So shout out to him on that. And also shout out to him because now he's trying to help this young brother out, get from that situation because he sees what it is. Ain't gonna be nothing coming for him but bad if he stays in this situation right now. He needs to get from out of there. I don't believe in Ja's apology. I just hope he gets the help he needs because heading down the wrong path, young man. Heading down the wrong path.
And this is the thing about what Jalen said to me, right? He was absolutely correct, but this is what I appreciated about it. Instead of everybody coming out and doing what, placing the whole, oh, he's a thug, he's this, right? Because I hate that. I really don't like that, right? When young black boys are doing something stupid, the first thing people do is portray them as a thug or as a gangster or as a criminal, right? And that is the point. Instead of coming out and saying that, come out and say, oh, well, I've been there. I have lived that life. Let me help you see that there's another side to it, right? That you can still be from here and still help your community and still be part of your community, still be part of quote unquote that side, but just a different way, right? Because there's always a different way. There's always a different motive. People will tell the biggest myth ever, oh, you can't do both. You can't be part of both worlds. You can, because they're looking for a way out too. Don't nobody want to sit there and do that shit forever. Trust me, I know. Okay. But when you have guidance instead of people that are just going to come and tear you down, it hits differently, right? So this is what I put on Ja, and this is what I put on his dad, most importantly, because, like I said, you have both your parents, bro. At the end of the fucking day, yeah, both your parents, dog.
He gotta stop being his friend. I get
And
that.
it's really not even that. It's not even. I don't even think.
I mean,
he has to stop enabling his behavior because his son made it. That's the problem. We have a whole bunch of people that enable their friend's behavior because that friend made it. And somebody is scared to tell him what he's doing is wrong because they're scared to get cut off because they're scared that money flow is going to be gone. Somebody has to tell him the stuff that he's doing, the people that he's hanging out with is wrong. You're going down a stupid path.
Too, though.
And you're right. You're right. But hold on. I haven't even got that part yet. I haven't even got to that part yet. Somebody has to tell him. Mom, dad, agent, coach, all of them have to tell him, hey, look, the shit that you're doing right now is dumb as all hell, and it's going to get you fucked up.
Stupid.
You're going to be broke, and you're going to be probably in jail or in prison or probably be on the street because you want to be portraying this life or you want to be out here hanging with these guys that don't got their best interests at heart.
He's snitching. He ain't going. That nigga snitching.
Now, here's what John needs to do, right? Here's what John needs to do.
Snitching.
John needs to, one, get off social media.
He did that.
I'm talking about for good. I'm not talking about for a few months. I'm not talking. Get off social media.
Everybody likes to do everything when they get caught.
Yeah, when they get caught, oh, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna come back. No. Stay your ass off of social media. That means all of them. Okay? Stay your ass in the gym. Period. And focused on your game, dog. That's it. That's the only thing you need to do.
That championship, right?
If you want to be the greatest, if you want saying you ain't worried about nobody in the West, then stay your ass off social media. Stay your ass out these interviews, talking shit with your big ass mouth, and stay your ass in the gym working on your craft, bro. Because if you want to be great, that's what you got to do. But you being on social media and taking all these interviews with the Taylor Rooks and the Malika Andrews and all this stuff like that and talking out your ass and then going on social media doing dumb shit, that's what's going to get you fucked up in the future. That's going to have you broke. Living back at your parents' house, wondering what happened. Or playing overseas like your papa did.
He's looking for validation in the wrong spot. The streets don't love you, bro.
Streets definitely don't love you. They love that.
They don't love you.
They love that money, though.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, they love that money. They love that chicken flow.
They love that money, though.
They don't love you like that, big dog. We gonna say it like Draymond. They don't love you like that.
Exactly. They might do love you, but if they still attached to the hood, they still do good shit. You really be in NBA arenas.
Hell yeah.
But on your spare time, you want to visit the hood.
No.
But it's like it's more like the Pacers event. They're pulling up on a 17-year-old. They're saying they got in a fight.
Yeah,
so it's like
I gotta
crazy.
That's proving yourself to me. Like that's not like, bro. Like when you really from the streets, bro. Like when you really from the streets, it comes a certain point that there is nothing you need to prove anymore. Everybody knows who it is.
Mm-hmm.
But
exactly.
When you're not from that world, you gotta prove yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. Trying to earn some stripes. Why? Exactly. Why? And that's the thing I don't get, bro. It's like you just doing dumb shit for what, right? Like if the whole Pacers thing, that's like even if, and that's the thing, right? Because even if that wasn't you or if it's somebody you hanging around, It's somebody you with or somebody that's with you. Remove them. Like this is what needs to happen. That's the cold part about it, right? Because I'm in the NBA. They can't touch me. I'm not affected. But the people that you hang around with are still out here doing dumb shit in the name of you, bro. That's the thing that you don't understand. They're attached to you by name now. Oh, that's John Morant's folks. That's John Morant's clique. That's John Morant's people. So now everything they do is a reflection of you. Get rid of them people, dog.
So Paul Pierce said that I don't care what y'all say about John Moran. I carried a gun after I was stabbed. Y'all don't know what he going through. Everyone got something to say until you really know what's going on in someone's life. When you black and rich, you a target, period.
And I understand that. Like I said, I get that point, right?
Hurt.
Where Dolph die at?
The
Rest in
point,
peace.
yeah,
Died in his hometown. So I get that. But at the same time, don't be out there.
But it's not even that too. It's like, bro, like Paul Pierce said, after I got stabbed.
After I got stabbed. Keywords. After.
That's when I did that.
Same.
What
and I'm
y'all went through?
Same.
He said, but then he also followed that up with saying we don't know what he went through or what he's going through.
In this day and era, we know if he's been stabbed or cut.
Nah, you don't know if like people threatening him or stuff like that.
You know
you can say you know everything, but until somebody releases it, you don't know. Like there's a lot of things that's held back, and then something happens and then it's released.
Come on, bro. That's a different incident. Somebody stabbing you or you literally.
Oh, no, 100%. I agree with that. But I'm also saying he followed that up with saying we don't know what Jai's going through. Jai could be going to get death threats and he want to protect
people on IG. He fake.
I'm just trying to. I got you. He trying to be a thug. I got you. He trying to be stupid. I know.
Anything that's gonna happen to him is gonna
stay away from the streets. You know, I'll do it for you, Stephen A. Smith. Since you didn't want to do it, I'll do it for you.
It's just stop being dumb, bro. Like you're doing. That's just to me. Like it's just dumb. It's absolutely dumb.
Got one of the biggest contracts in the world coming for you next season. You got Powerade behind you right now. Just doing stupid stuff.
And this the thing. This the thing, right? I get
huge.
I get what Paul Pierce is saying, right? Because after what happened to me when I was a kid, I did the same exact thing, right? But I was in a different area. I was younger, all kind of crazy and stuff like that. But at the same time, bro, it's like we don't have the money. We don't have the resources to hire security, bro. We don't have the money to hire resources to hire bodyguards.
Oh yeah, he does.
Y'all 100%. Do. They do.
But that's why I said that will become that becomes. That's why I was saying some of it got to fall on Jai too. It's not just
you got the money, the resources to have a bodyguard, bro.
It's what he wants to portray. It's what the people he has around him. If he doesn't have good influence around him, he's not going to be a good influence. Like he's going to be influenced. Like we 100%, because we surround ourselves with the things we want, with people we want to be. Like with the stuff, the essence we want around us. So that's on him. He's doing it to himself. That's why I don't give him no, and that's why I didn't want Stephen A to give him no slack. I get that he apologized. I take it, but when somebody apologizes like right away, like it's just like, oh no, I fucked up. I gotta apologize. Like that's what it is to me.
I don't care about an apology, honestly. Like I don't care about an apology, bro.
Just don't do it.
Don't do shit for me.
And that's why I said don't these guys go through classes when they enter the NBA?
Yes.
Yes. So it's like that's what I'm saying. I can't give him a pass because he's young, because they tell you guys about these things. Like no guns in the locker room, no guys, because they saying like if Jai had a gun with the Pacers thing, like it might have been carried, it might have been on a flight, and that's against team policy.
Yeah, so and that's against team policy.
Now he's about to go through a whole investigation where other things might come out that we didn't even know.
Yeah,
he was doing. Right.
That's dumb. Like I said, I'm not saying he's being the smartest person. Like I said, I'm not trying to absolve any blame. I'm just saying the things that he's doing is not, to me, is not trying to be a tough guy. It's stupid. It's literally dumb.
I'm trying to trade him.
Like I don't get it. I don't get having everything and going to do dumb shit. That's just
I'm not too far away from that, boy, because I understand what you mean.
I'm trying to trade him. It's time to go.
Right. And and especially with the whole with the 17-year-old, because I keep seeing that, right? He pulled a gun on the 17-year-old, blah blah blah, stuff like that, right?
He had under his shirt and he lifted it up. He lifted his shirt up.
Yeah, I honestly still think that's far-fetched, right? Because me personally, I never met somebody who pulled outs on somebody that you just beat the shit out of. Like that's why.
Yeah, talk to my mother like that again. I'll bust a
Yeah,
cat.
you feel me? Like I ain't never noticed that shit. And he's a 17-year-old kid, and he's known for playing pickup basketball at his house. Like, why would you pull out? It just doesn't make any sense, right? And then you look at the police report, and just none of it makes sense, right?
I got none of it makes sense to begin with. So why is that even?
100%.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Because
because
when the story came out last year, Boo-Wop, where was the whole thing about the gun? Because that story, that's him punching that 17-year-old kid. That was a story from last year. That shit happened last year. So what?
Once you get that in that trouble, man, they pulling all your stories up.
Oh yeah, they pulling all the stuff out. Oh, now
that's why I said like we don't know
right?
how much more is gonna come out. We like, what if he been doing stuff for years that the NBA just was like? Because Stephen A. also said something. And that's the comments I wanted to really talk about. He said that there's ex-cops that work for the NBA that have friends in the FBI and stuff like that, and that NBA players are being watched, like that all their moves, the NBA knows what they're doing. And if that's true, it's like, then if they want now, John, now you gave me a reason. Now the media got wind of it. Now I got to put all this shit out there. Now, bang, bang, bang. Here's a list of things, and now it's like, all right, your NBA career is done, and you only 23, and you black, and you black.
That's the key thing.
Black.
That's the key thing.
They will fuck you like that.
It ain't gonna be done. The thing about it, I was saying trade him from this standpoint. He's proven to be a little troublemaker right now. And on this side, players like him, no matter how good they are for the moment,
they don't
last long.
Mm-hmm.
They do not last long. So unless he's going to be an anomaly, and the anomaly is Russell Westbrook for the most part, a guy that kind of lasted 10 plus years, but you just don't see it. Guys that hit the ground, and then even Westbrook, two ACL injuries, he's going to get hurt. They're too explosive.
Yeah,
just how it goes.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Let's move. I don't want to stay dwelling on Ja Morant. Get your head together, brother. We wish you the best over here from the sideline.
Ja, just stop doing dumb shit, bro. That's it.
Yeah, we talk with love, bro. We want you to succeed. Your young black brother. We want our young black brothers to succeed and not die.
I mean, I ain't gonna say that. Because the hood do love him. He like the modern day AI right now, but he just doing
the hood love you basketball wise, but the hood don't love you thug
dumber
wise.
shit.
All right, last segment of the show. I got another bring them to that era, and we're doing the 90s today. So for William and DJ, this segment is basically I'm going to give you two players. I'm going to give you an era, and you're going to tell me who fits better, who you think would be better in that era. The era is the 1990s. That means from 90 to 99. Who you think would be better? Stephen Curry or CP3?
You said 1990 to 99?
90 to 99.
As in, who would be the star, or
who would be better in that time? Who do you think will have the better career in that time?
I honestly want to say I think Chris Paul would have the better career during that time.
I want to say CP3 too.
The game that he plays as a floor general, and his because he's a mid-range. A lot of people forget he improved his mid-range shot, and he can shoot mid-range like crazy. The only reason why I go CP3 though, because of his style, because I think a lot of coaches in the 90s would not give Steph Curry the green light just to go out there and go crazy and just shoot three after three after three, because that's just the kind of game it was in the 90s. And early in Steph Curry's career, he was injured a lot, and they were a lot more physical back then. They push him around, and he might take on a couple more injuries.
Hand check him, push him in the right direction to someone else on the switch.
I mean, Chris Paul's injury prone too, kind of. So when
he is. But just speaking during to Chris Paul during his prime, he wasn't that injury prone until more of the backside of his prime. When Steph Curry first came in the NBA, and people forget this, that he was for the first 4 years basically.
Yeah, he had ankle injuries. Coming out of college, I think he had ankle work.
And that in return allowed them to get KD to come to Golden State, because he was on a bargain freaking contract for $44 million in the middle of his contract when they got Kevin Durant, because they could afford him. So I think I'd probably take CP3 in the 90s, but I mean, you take a great player and put him in every era, they should still be great because they adapt.
adapt to the change. And I got CP3 better too. I think CP3 would be better than Steph Curry right now. You put him back in the 90s. Because in the 90s, they actually play D, hand check. You can switch him off to other players as he's out there. And then, like Isaiah said, they're gonna beat him up regardless. So I think CP3 will be better in the 90s.
I got Steph. Only because Steph is just a better player on the floor. Like, yeah, if you want to give him CP3 facilitating, yeah, sure. But I'm getting shooting, and if you're gonna say that Steph is gonna get pushed around, CP3 is gonna get pushed around too because he's small as well. It's gonna be like that. The thing about CP3 is they're gonna literally have him surf around the 3-point line and wait for a big dude to get open, power forward, center, 3, whatever the case may be. But at least I know, and I'm not saying CP3 can't score. That's not what I'm saying. But I know at least with Steph, I'm going to get a lot more scoring than I would get for CP3. And Steph isn't no slouch on defense as well. Like, we got to stop with he's going to get pushed around. He is not a slouch on defense. He can actually hold his own on defense. A lot of the stuff is really just size. But it's going to be even worse with CP3 because he's smaller. Like, it's...
You got to tell the truth about Steph, Mo. Come on now.
I'm not saying he's the best defender or he's a great defender, but if you look at it and you watch games, he's in position, but the defenders he plays defense. Like I said, I'm not gonna say he's a great defender, but he's in position. It's just a lot of the times he's a smaller defender, so it's a mismatch. Like, that's just basketball at the end of the day. Like, anybody can be there against Kevin Durant, but because he's bigger, it can be great defense, but it's going to be a better shot because he's KD and he's that much bigger. That's all I'm saying. But I'm taking Steph just purely based off scoring and shooting. And you may think that the coach might not give him the green light, but an ability like that, they're going to give him the green light just because that ability is, you don't really see that a lot. You didn't really see that in the 90s at that point in time. Even with the Ray Allen and the Reggie Miller and all those other players like that, you really didn't see the volume in which Steph shot.
But they just didn't play the game like that, so you kind of factor in that in. I don't think he's going to change the game in that era.
Nope.
Because the only way you really can change the game, because they didn't change the game till they won, and that's the only way you can change the way things appear to be. Then people emulate you and try to copy you. And now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's going to win playing that style of basketball, because the same thing you could say about Draymond, not like they the same level of player, but everything worked out so perfect for Steph as well. The best version of Steph came when Draymond became the best version of of himself, in a sense. Like, everything went hand in hand for them. They didn't go to the playoffs till Klay Thompson arrived. Steph Curry don't go to the playoffs, and they was known as the Splash Brothers until Steph separated himself. So it's hard for me to say that, like, Steph's style of play will just be the way we know it to be without all of that happening. Like, I don't know the situation he would be with. What I do know about Chris Paul, 20 and 10, any era.
And that's my
I know
point.
this for sure.
And that's my
any
point.
era.
And that's my point. He's a Floyd Jones. He's somebody that can get your big man open. He ain't gonna shoot a whole lot of threes, but he can net down some threes. So that's why I picked him.
Yeah.
I just don't trust Chris Paul at the end of the day.
I get that too. I get that too.
That's the biggest factor. I don't trust him to win. I don't trust him to gel with another one of my superstars, because at the end of the day, I know they're gonna butt heads and somebody's gonna leave. And it's probably going to be my superstar that I wanted to stay on the team, because Chris Paul is going to make it a big deal. Like, I'm taking all that into account. I'm not just taking their on the court ability into account. I'm taking how they are in the locker room, how they are as a leader, how they are as a teammate, how they are, how they vibe together as another player. And we've heard countless stories that people don't really like playing with Chris Paul.
That's
true.
But
that's true.
But who's the superstar that Chris Paul has played with?
The mod is in the building. Did you win at least?
James Harden.
That's the only one I remember playing with.
Yeah, to me, that's the biggest thing. Like, I'm taking that into account, bro. Like, why didn't that work?
Technically it worked for one season, and Chris Paul got injured down the line in the playoff.
They both have playoff woes too, Mo. That's just the truth.
They absolutely. Yeah, absolutely do. That's why I don't trust James Harden either.
I still think his style of play just translate better through the airs. Like as you go back in the airs, Stephen Curry, and I'm not trying to discredit, like I'm not saying he wouldn't be a good player still. It's just going to be less effective because the three ball is not as prevalent as it is today as it was 30 years ago. They was not playing that style of basketball. You have to win for people to emulate you. That's just what I know.
That's true. That's true.
They
I
didn't want
just
to give
it's just
Jordan.
what you value more.
They doubted Jordan till he won.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
absolutely true. You're
That's
right.
true.
And I'm
That's
not
absolutely true.
going to
That's true.
disagree with you and say that you're not wrong. You feel me? You're wrong or anything like that. I'm just saying what I value is I'm taking what Steph will bring to the court over what CP3 will bring to the court, and I'm gonna hope that that's gonna transition the same way.
I could dig it. It's Stephen Curry we're talking about, so it's understandable. He's all time better than Paul, so that's what make it tricky. But the reality is, it's just style of play for me, and I just think that Steph Curry's style of play is just hard to say that it's going to happen in the 90s.
No, definitely,
like
definitely.
Reggie Miller, he's not Reggie Miller, but he's better, and clearly, like he can create for himself at a way higher level than Reggie could. I think if Reggie had the luxury of playing in this era, he would be even more respected today because he's getting these volume of threes to shoot up.
Yeah.
If Buddy Hield can shoot 10 threes a game, why Reggie Miller can't?
Ain't that the truth?
That's a good one.
Ain't that
That's
the
a
truth?
good point.
Because Buddy be letting it fly, dog.
Yeah, and he a good shooter, but he's not Reggie Miller. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's a different game, man. It's just all I'm saying. Like,
Whole different game.
Yeah.
Because the threes weren't, like I said, like you said, the threes weren't prevalent back then.
No, they wasn't. Nobody was shooting the three like that, like for real. Like on a
You go gotta tell you about the Lions.
Oh man, the Lions and the Pistons.
I was waiting for somebody to see that.
Oh shoot!
That's why we love you. Go, he come in here, and he stick to his gun, man.
Oh dang!
We used to hear somebody say Saints 2023 for half the damn season, and now we got somebody saying Lions 2024. So.
Oh no!
Loser.
You feel
Oh
me?
no!
But yeah, I think I definitely got Steph though. I think Steph would be not the point guard that you will see today, but I think he would be probably more of a. I don't know about defensive wise, but I think he probably would be more in that realm of Isaiah Thomas back in the 90s. That's just me.
I can dig it.
Yep.
But that's the show. Let's get to these final thoughts. I'm going to start with Will. Final thoughts, Will.
Final thoughts. Chicago Bulls, I need y'all to do better. I know we're guard depleted right now. Patrick Beverly, man, really, Pat Bev is the best you can do. Get better, Chicago. Get better.
I'm sorry for your loss, brother. I'm sorry for your loss.
Man, get better.
Hey, that was like a eulogy, wasn't
it? Hey, man, I felt the soul in that one, dog. Oh,
that hurt, man. That's just hurt. Pat Bev. Lonzo down. We don't know when he coming back. Pat Bev.
DJ, final thoughts.
I didn't really comment too much on the John Morant stuff because we had a whole segment on our podcast, and we dedicate that whole segment called "Dumbass Millionaires." So
I like it.
I like pretty much agree with that sentiment. But what I will say is to summarize pretty much what all y'all said about it. Bitch, real G's moving silence like lasagna. Stop it.
Hello. Quote the GOAT. Gotta quote the GOAT.
Got some soundboard action in here from Will. Who our final thoughts?
Yeah, man. Great show, man. Appreciate you guys coming through. And this was an interesting one, though, man. I just hope Ja do get his better handle in what he got going on, man. He got a whole lot to lose here. Whole lot.
Definitely. Mulich, final thoughts.
Sorry for the tardiness. King's game is today. We at home, so everybody's kind of, you know what I'm saying, with the traffic and all the stuff like that. I'm pretty sure there's a bad accident. So whoever is out there in the accident, hope you guys are okay. But like, comment, subscribe to show the page. Go ahead and follow that TikTok as well. Follow that Twitter. From the sideline move. Yeah, y'all know what it is. Final thoughts about Ja, man. Just stop doing dumb stuff. I'm not trying to you know what I'm saying? Just stop doing dumb stuff, bro. Use your head, okay? Get off social media. Stop watching music videos with your favorite rappers and the OTs bro, okay? Go listen to the Baby Shark or something. You got a daughter, bro. Listen to Baby Shark, okay? I listen to Baby Shark. My wife listens to Baby Shark. We listen to Baby Shark. It's a Baby Shark house. Okay?
I don't listen to no damn Baby Shark no more. No
hey,
Baby Shark.
I feel you, but I got a newborn, and we listen to Baby Shark around this
No,
joint.
you play something
Your
else.
daughter is young.
Baby
Listen
cow
to
moo
some
moo
Baby
moo
Shark.
moo moo baby cow moo 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 moo.
Hey,
Listen
man,
to
give
something
me
else.
something, okay? But
put
stop
your kid on
listening to the
Gracie's
trap
Corner,
stuff.
dog.
Stop listening. Hey, we got the Gracie's Corner over here
you
too,
go.
man. You feel me? We be on the Gracie's Corner, the Jules TV, all that, bro.
Yeah.
You got a
We
young
gotta go
daughter.
back and listen
Start
to some
listening to that.
Caillou.
Okay, listen to that, bro. Matter of fact, Ja, get off social media and go watch some anime. That's what you need to do. You need to go watch some anime and get your mind right.
Outside now. We ain't gonna come outside with some scores.
That facts.
Nah.
Hey, I would rather have Ja outside doing this.
Go watch Attack on Titan.
You feel me? With the
stay away from
other than
John
flashing
need
the
to go
gun.
watch Attack on Titan. He need
My
to go watch.
final thoughts is,
Listen, he need to go watch Vinland Saga. He need to go watch. He need to go watch the.
Matter of fact, John, go watch One Piece.
The Notebook.
Oh,
so he can see what happens to guys like him. So you can see what happens to guys like him when he fuck around and be a criminal. Somebody write your name in the notebook and your ass dead.
Hey, I was gonna say, go watch Death Note right now.
Death Note, there you go.
Right now.
Go watch from One Punch Man. There you go.
Man,
but I want to say to Jai, don't go watch no gun movies, no karate movies, no animes.
Stay away from Bad Boy.
All you can watch is L. I don't know if you guys remember that show, but that's all your